last one. Let's go to number 2. What number are we on? 2. Number 2. Ready to read with me? You all track with me, please? Everybody's tracking.
We went from a weekend in which we were all on spring break enjoying life to coming back to school, and we didn't come back to school face to face.
This is 1 week's worth of work. We even have conscious discipline in here so they can continue their social emotional learning.
One of the very first things that we realized is that many of our students did not have internet access in their homes, or they had marginal internet access. They were not able to connect with their teachers. So we began to look at solutions, not only short-term solutions, but long-term solutions. What is a permanent fix that would be an opportunity for our kids? We realized that some of our families lived in locations in which there were no options. No matter how much money the family may have had, they simply couldn't access high-speed broadband.
It was a little challenging just because I didn't have like direct access to internet, or sometimes my phone wouldn't have very good signal, so I couldn't use my hotspot. We tried having Wi-Fi out here, but it didn't really work.
We had our internet from our phones that works good, but with so many kids at the same time, it wasn't enough. Sometimes they would miss their meetings for school, or it would just buffer and buffer and buffer.
We need solutions that provide permanent solutions, permanent opportunities for kids, not only in ECISD, but across our state and across our nation. We reached out to SpaceX and found that they were interested in working with us to create a pilot opportunity. We did that. We identified a group of our families that live in the Pleasant Farms community. In working with SpaceX, they launched a series of satellites that right now are in orbit over that community. And then we identified individual families that would be interested in receiving that free internet service.
I didn't really know what SpaceX was. My brother told me a little bit about it, but just because it was free, I was kind of like, will it really work? Like, it might work good enough, but maybe it's just like my hotspot. Maybe it's going to be a little bit slow. But, I mean, it worked really well for me.
It's actually better than what we expected, because out here, since we live so far out of the city limits, internet doesn't work great. Usually the oldest is like looking in the dictionary, like she uses her device like to like Google stuff like dictionary, because she's been using like larger words and she has to use dictionary. The little one, he does mostly, like he's doing right now, games, but they're learning games, and he has to do them, like they count for his grades and stuff. They all do it at the same time, and we have no issues with the internet speeds or anything like that.
So fast forward to today, and we have multiple families in the Pleasant Farm community that are fully engaged in using the Starlink satellite technology within their own home. Those kids today have a much better internet experience than they had during the early days of the pandemic.